When I walked through the halls during the interview process when I came to the school, I particularly remember stepping into Mrs. Shochet's class.
Let's see if we can do it together.
There was a love of teaching and a love of children and a love of teaching children that was immediately evident. And when I stopped into her class or walk by her door and hear the learning that's going on, it's sincere, it's from the heart. It's what the Hebrew Academy is all about.
Rachel had a good time. You're going to take this word now.
The Rebbe always referred to every Jewish neshama as a precious diamond. And he also said that one never tires of dealing with diamonds. We get them more polished, and we even get them sparkling sometimes. But it is our duty to figure out how to mold and turn each one of these into a unique personality and into a most precious and brilliant jewel. But for this tzaddik, what did Hashem make sure that they were carrying? Who can tell me what would Hashem make sure?
What a child becomes, what a child grows up to be, can often be shaped by one or two words that a teacher utters. It could be positive and it could be negative. Sometimes we don't realize the impact our words have on a child.
2 years ago, I started teaching my students' children. And when I see what pillars of the Jewish community they have all become, what more joy can I have?
We have a tremendous responsibility, probably the most responsibility of any profession, to shape and mold children, the future of the world.
I've been here for a long time, 29 years, from the start when I started working with Shirley Gross as my principal, as my mentor, until today. It's a partnership between me and all of my esteemed colleagues. When I see these incredible, incredible students of ours raising Jewish families and becoming such important people all over the world, it's just an amazing, amazing feeling to think that we had a small part to do with this.
We have to inspire children, and our teachers do. It says a lot about our honorees that they did not want to be honored tonight. It shows their humbleness, their humility, their sense that it's the school that needs to be spotlighted, not them, which makes it all the more reason why we need to honor them. I would tell them thank you for everything they've done for the school. When I arrived at the Hebrew Academy, Mark was my president, and I couldn't have asked for a better president. He was there whenever I needed him. Mark gave me the big picture, forced me to look at the big picture, and I give him a lot of credit, basically single-handedly running the school with the administration before I arrived at the school. Barbara deserves a lot of that credit too for allowing Mark to invest that time into his children's school and to be here as much as he was. Russell and Ronalee, what can I say? And of course, Bessie Galbut. They exemplify what the school is all about. Truly committed to Jewish education, truly committed to the community, truly committed to their children. Their name is synonymous with Miami Beach, with Jewish Miami Beach, and for good reason. Their heart and souls poured into building the community and sustaining the community. South Florida owes a tremendous amount of gratitude to Russell and to Ronalee, and of course to Bessie Galbut for getting this whole thing started and for entrusting the Hebrew Academy with all of her grandchildren, and we are looking forward to welcoming her great-grandchildren to the school.
The school was started on Jefferson Avenue and 6th Street. And I'm very happy to say that Heine and I were one of the first ones who helped to form the school. We were there from the very beginning, and I suppose I'm about the oldest honoree that you've ever had. My father-in-law, a blessed memory, had this store, Al's, which was at the corner of Washington Avenue and 5th Street. And it was a store that was open day and night. They had a luncheonette there, they had a tag agency there, we sold driver's license, we sold stamps, we sold Valentine boxes of candy. That Clark Gable used to come down during the war years and have breakfast in my father-in-law's store. When I had my first two children, Robert and David, Rabbi Alexander S came to Miami Beach to open a school. A secular and a religious school. And he brought his lovely wife Shirley and his bride, and we had two more children. So all four of my children have attended the Hebrew Academy from nursery, kindergarten, then first grade through the 8th grade, and then the high school, the 9th grade through the 12th grade. Miami Beach was very, very different in those days because there wasn't too much religion here. When the Hebrew Academy came here, you could see a change after 2 years. The children were learning and teaching the adults. Today they have many schools in secular and Hebrew, but remember that the Hebrew Academy was the very first. They led the way.
I've been waiting in school all day long, waiting on the bell to ring so I could go home.
I remember as a child, probably around 50 years ago, attending the Hebrew Academy at 6th Street and Jefferson Avenue. It was a very different time in Miami Beach. It was a very small community, and you knew everybody. You knew the grocery store, you knew the bakery, you knew the gas station. It was such a small community that even at the early age of 5, 6, and 7 years old, you would go to school on your own. It was Rabbi Gross who felt that the current site owned by the Hebrew Academy was not of sufficient size. We were all together as one family trying to create a day school, a Hebrew day school, to marvel any other day school in any other part of the world. And as such, every rabbi in the community was firmly behind the Hebrew Academy. So we had the opportunity to swap land with the city of Miami Beach, and with that opportunity came the creation of 2400 Pine Tree Drive. And I remember like yesterday where Alexander Gross said to my father, "Jaime, you get us the land and I'll get the money to build the building." When we went into the 3rd grade, this building was finally ready. I remember walking down Washington Avenue with the flags flaring and with the bugles humming, and we were carrying a Torah, and it was just the most incredible experience because we walked every single student from 6th and Jefferson Avenue to Washington Avenue, and then from Washington Avenue to the new property. It was just a feeling of beauty and strength and an opportunity to create an alcove of outstanding Hebrew education and an opportunity to create what is today the Hebrew Academy.
Rabbi Gross was a wonderful man. He had the foresight to see the growth of this whole city. This school was here for every Jewish person. It grew in spirit, it grew in teaching, it just got better and better.
East of the Mississippi, there was no other Hebrew day school. And we had kids from Birmingham, Atlanta, South Carolina, North Carolina, and they would come here because we provided the Jewish day school for all.